Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to share with you guys my secret to finding 7-figure blue ocean niche using AI and using this tool called GPT. And before I share with you this, I just want to let you know I'm actually revealing a very powerful secret that I'm using for my clients. My clients pay me big bucks. We're talking about 50K to 100K at least a year just to work with us. And the reason why they pay us such a premium price is because we don't just do something like what every agency does. We don't just create ads and we don't just create funnels. One of the key superpower that I have is that I can take an ordinary, boring business in a very boring niche. For example, the real estate market or financial planning market or the weight loss market, where it's very saturated with competitors. And I'm able to usually find a blue ocean market, an underserved audience that could help scale their business to 7 to 8 figure in the fastest time possible. Okay. And the reason we are able to do that once again is because we are able to niche down to an underserved market where there's little to no competition. And that's how you want to market your product and services. You don't want to always go to a very competitive space where it's a red ocean of full of established players, full of competitors, and that's the market where you usually go into price war, and that's where we do not want to be. So what you want to do instead is to find a group of underserved people or a blue ocean niche where you can craft out your own niche where there's little to no competition, and that's so much easier for you to scale. I'm going to share with you guys the secret right now. It used to be something it takes me weeks or even months to do this research for my clients. So before we take them on, we'll do this research and we'll find a market before we create all the marketing materials required for that particular market, right? So the secret that we are able to scale is not because of how good our copywriting is. Any copywriter, any good copywriter will tell you that it is not about the copywriting itself, because there's already so many tools and templates and fill in the blanks that you can use to write copywriting. But it's the research, the ability to research and tap into the mind of your customers, into the mind of your ideal client. And if you are very strong with your research, 80% of the battle is won. Okay, so this video I'm going to review to you just how to do that. Before that, I just want to also take some time to share the importance of niching down. One of the reasons why so many businesses that comes to me and they're not able to scale or they are struggling in scaling is because they don't have a niche. They're still trying to serve everybody. And that's honestly very annoying sometimes, because when I ask them, who is your ideal client or who is your target customers? And they always tell me things like, oh, everybody, I serve everybody. Or they just give me very generic things like, I serve anybody who wants to lose weight, or anybody who wants to buy a property or upgrade their property. That's not really a well-defined audience, okay? And when you do that, you're trying to reach out to everybody, you're reaching out to nobody, okay? And if your business is not scalable, that's usually the reason why. You want to find a niche group of people that you can serve first, a niche market or underserved audience, and not try to serve everybody. Even Jesus didn't try to serve everyone. So everyone thought that when Jesus came, that the gospel was for the whole world. It is true today that the gospel is for the whole world. His message, his gospel, when he first started preaching, wasn't for everyone. And this was even said in the Bible, that I think in Matthew 10, it says that when Jesus was actually sending his disciples 2 by 2 out to preach the gospel, to preach his kingdom, he actually told his disciple, do not go into the land of Gentiles. Do not go there, but go to the lost sheep of Israel. Jesus had a niche. He even told his disciple not to go to the land of Gentiles. And Gentiles basically non-Jews. His audience were the Jews. It was the minority in terms of population for the whole world. So when he first came, the gospel wasn't for the entire world, it was for Jews. And even within the Jewish population, it wasn't for everybody. It was for a small group of people called the sinners, the broken, the tax collectors, the prostitute. So even Jesus had a niche and a sub-niche. So it wasn't just Jewish people, but a subgroup of people who were the sinners, who were the broken, who were the people who were lost, and this is his market. So I always say that if even Jesus didn't came to serve everybody right at the start, he didn't try to market Christianity to everybody at the start, what makes you think you can market to everyone at the start? Without further ado, let me show you guys how do I use AI to actually help you do the research. Again, this process used to take me weeks or even months, and this is why people pay us big bucks. So I'm actually literally sharing you one of my big secrets for free right now. So I'm going to show you guys what is this tool that I'm going to use, and I'm going to look at my screen right now. And there's actually this tool that I use called GPT. Okay, so you guys have probably heard of ChatGPT for the longest time, and probably sick and tired of hearing that. But this is not ChatGPT. This is GPT. For those of you who have been diving into AI, you probably heard of it, but if you haven't used it, you're really missing out on the game. You're really missing out on what AI can actually do for you. It's much more powerful than ChatGPT. First of all, if you go online, you can just search up Auto GPT. All right, it's basically an autonomous GPT-4 experiment, and it's actually on GitHub. Just Google it, you'll be able to find it, and you can actually set it up. It actually requires a little bit of coding experience, but despite me not having any coding experience, I was still able to code out the entire thing using Python and just simply following the instructions. And just a hint here, they basically show you the instructions of how do you actually set up this entire thing on Python. And all I did was I took these instructions, I put it into ChatGPT, and then I asked ChatGPT to show me step by step how to do it and guide me along the way. And even when I was coding out, because I didn't know how to use Python, all this is very new to me, I basically put it back into ChatGPT, anything that I didn't know or any errors that I received because I was doing the wrong thing, and then just ask ChatGPT to just show me what was causing this error and what can I do to fix it. Honestly, it took me about an hour to 2 hours to figure this entire thing out. I'm not going to show you guys the tutorial of how to do this entire thing because I am not a coder myself. I'm not a programmer myself. But you can probably just go to YouTube and just search how to set up Auto GPT and just read up a bit more about autonomous GPT. And this is really the exciting part of generative AI and where AI can go. Now, the good news for you is that I found a tool that doesn't require you to set up any of this setup yourself. Okay, so it actually helps you to save a lot of time, but it costs a bit of money. Okay, now I'm not affiliated with this company whatsoever. And in fact, I'm really just giving my real secrets for free right now. Okay, and basically the company or the software is called Agent GPT. It is a paid subscription. I think it requires like $40 to use it. But basically, what they did was that they coded the entire backend, because if you didn't want to do this entire thing, you didn't want to code this out in Python, what they simply did was that they took this and they created a backend, and then they just make a nicer UI so that you and I, who are not good with programming or software engineering, we are able to use AutoGPT with this UI. Okay, but it requires a bit of a subscription fee. Okay, so what can this do, right? As you can see from how it looks a bit like ChatGPT, it looks like a chat, but it is really more than that. I don't have time to go through the entire thing, and because I'm not affiliated to this company in whatever, even if you subscribe, I don't make any money. There's no affiliate income. Just full disclaimer out there. But I want to show you guys what are some of the amazing stuff you can do with this. And in the future of AI automation is with all this Auto GPT, because you'll be able to start to automate certain parts of your business, which I'm already exploring, and hopefully someday I can share that with you guys in this channel. So please remember to subscribe. And I want to show you guys some of the things that you actually can do with this. So first of all, you can actually create images. It actually searches the internet. It actually searches the web browse for you. So that means it's not just ChatGPT that's limited to 2021 information. And it can even write and review codes for you. Okay, so it's pretty amazing. I actually tried doing some stuff like asking it to build an entire software business and a website, and it actually coded all the things for me. Just that I didn't really have time to go and put everything together because of my commitment in my software company and my agency. Okay, but there's a lot of things that you can play with this. You can actually click on templates and you can just see a bunch of things you can do with this. So some of it will be like, for example, you can actually code a platformer game featuring a popular character or theme. You can even write resume with it. You can do marketing GPT, where it can help you to design a comprehensive marketing strategy for your business. Writing a novel. Industry GPT, which is present a comprehensive review of the industry that you want, and covering key trends, player, and future predictions. So this is something that we want to use. Okay, we want to use Agent GPT here to do research work. Okay, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to use this right now to find a 7-figure or even an 8-figure blue ocean niche. Okay, so once again, I'm going to go back home. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give a name to this agent. Now, the meaning why is it called an agent is because you're actually creating an agent, like an AI agent, and then they're going to do a bunch of stuff for you. You give it a goal, you give it an objective, and then it will just do whatever it takes to hit the objective for you. So that's the amazing part, right? So unlike ChatGPT, you're just asking one prompt, it will give you an answer. You give it another prompt, you give you another answer. Agent GPT works differently. You give it an instruction, an objective, and then it will actually just go and do its own thinking and its own prompting and reach the objective for you. Okay? In this case, I'm going to call it, since we're going to do a market research, right? And I'm going to do a market research on, let's say, like a weight loss market. And I'm going to put market GPT. Okay? And then this is the part where I have to put in the goal, right? Now, the goal is very simple. It's just like an AI GPT prompt. The more customized this is, the more personalized this is, the more specific you are. It's just if you give an instruction to an employee and you give very generic instructions, they're likely not going to be able to do what you want them to do because you're not giving them very specific instructions. So this is the one that you got to take a bit of time to craft out. So in this case, I've already done some research myself. I've actually created a goal, a prompt, okay, on researching a weight loss market and trying to find an underserved audience within the market, okay? So here's an example, all right? So I named this market GPT, and I say that I'm a weight loss coach trying to find an underserved niche or audience within the weight loss industry in Singapore. Now, a key thing to take note here, you can do this for any industry you want. You can replace weight loss with, I don't know, financial planning for real estate or supplements or whatever. But the other thing is this, I put it in Singapore. You want to be very specific where you are. And for those of you who are watching who are not living in Singapore, you're international, the reason why I use Singapore, and if it works in Singapore, it's likely going to work for the rest of the world, because Singapore has a very small population of about 5 million people. And so in terms of data and training and information, is not as much as other countries with bigger population, because the more population you have, the more data you can collect. So if it works even in Singapore, I believe it will work for anywhere else, okay? I'm a weight loss coach trying to find an underserved audience niche within the weight loss industry in Singapore. I sell a course and coaching and then sell supplements after. So this is just giving them a bit of context about what kind of business I'm doing, okay? So I'm not doing coaching, I'm just giving an example of what some of my clients are doing. And then conduct an in-depth examination of the weight loss industry in Singapore to find me an underserved audience group or blue ocean niche. Who are the best people I can target to generate more leads and sales and position myself as an expert in a low competition market, okay? And then I give it some criteria this market must have, and I give 5 criteria here. Now, these 5 criteria, I actually mainly got it from Alex Hormozy, so just shout out to him from his book, $1 Million Offer. So that's one of the best books I have read when it comes to creating offer and it comes to finding addressable market. So please go and read that book. So there are like a few keys there that I adopted here. So it must have an addressable market size of 10,000 to 1 million people. So we want to have at least, if we don't want a market, there's just 1,000 people, right? There's not enough people for us to reach out to. And then they must have a purchasing power, right? They must have purchasing power and high to medium disposable income, okay? Which means that we want to exclude low-income family, low-income audience, and so on. Now, obviously, you don't have to exclude them if these are your target audience. But in my case, a lot of my clients want people with basically spending power, right? So that's why I did that. And then it is a growing market. So we want to know it is a growing market. It is not a market that is shrinking, okay? Which means that if you position yourself in a blue ocean market, in a market that is underserved, yet it is a growing market, right? You're just going to get more customers every year without you doing anything. You're just riding the trend, riding the wave. It's much easier to build a business that way. And then number 4, there's a massive problem in this for this market, for this weight loss market. So I'm just going to change this up here, weight loss market. And then there's long-term customers and recurring customers, long-term potential recurring customers. And what this means is that tourists and one-time customers who will never buy again should be avoided, okay? This doesn't apply a lot to like weight loss industry, but just in case, it gives me something that maybe a group of people that just buy one time, right? I want to find a market that is long-term and they basically can be turned into recurring customers, okay? So then detailing its current market status, emerging trends, significant challenges, opportunities, make sure to include data, statistics, list of major players, a forecast of the industry, and how current events or development could influence it, okay? And because it has the ability to search online, it can actually get the latest information, okay? What I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take this entire thing, I'm gonna copy and paste. By the way, you can screenshot this if you want, type it out, and then you can just edit it accordingly. If you really want this, you can just click on, you know what, I'll just maybe create a link that you can click on in the description so that you can get a copy of this, and then you can just go ahead, edit, and use it for yourself, okay? Just remember to thank me if it makes you 7 figures, okay? Just buy me a coffee or something. All right, I'm gonna put this in a goal, right? And I'm gonna let it run. So I'm just gonna click on this play button. And what's gonna do right now is that I've given a goal, and this is gonna start, can you see it starts thinking, and it's gonna start to think of a bunch of prompts, a bunch of different things it's supposed to do. So it will actually create a list of tasks, okay, for it to fulfill. So as you can see, there's 4 tasks added right now. Conduct a market research, okay, analyzing purchasing power, identify potential underserved audience, and then compile all this into a comprehensive report. And right now, it's starting the task and it's doing its thinking, okay? Now, I'm gonna let this run for a couple of minutes, okay? Again, depending on how comprehensive your prompt is, this thing here could take just a few minutes all the way to even 10, 20, even 30 minutes. There was one thing that I did was that it took 30 minutes, and because I'm using GPT-4, it's a lot slower compared to 3.5, okay? What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to let this run. I'm going to snap my finger and come back when it's done. All right, so that took way longer than I expected. It took about 10 minutes. I had to intentionally stop Agent GPT. I actually ended prematurely because I have to go for a date night with my wife. Basically, it went on for like 10 minutes, and during the 10 minutes, I was using my phone, I was just doing something else, and I was just approving some of my work that my team has done, and just basically let it run, okay? And watch this, okay? Even though it didn't complete, there was already enough information because it actually went on to do even more than what I asked it to do. Let's take a look here, right? Look at this amount of information that was able to research for me on its own in just 10 minutes. Imagine if I just left it on for the next 30 minutes, okay? I wonder what it will create for me. So it basically went to do a bunch of research. It actually talked about, okay, first of all, I want to show you how big of a document is this. You can actually save this document as an image, copy, or PDF. And if I save it as a PDF, what I'm actually seeing here is a 20-page document, 17-page, right? Close to a 20-page document of report about the market, the established player, the size of the market, the addressable market, the income group that is available in the market. And it was going to continue to go on before I stop it. It was even going to develop me a comprehensive marketing plan for retention, okay, for all the markets that it has created for me or it has found for me. So imagine that, right? Imagine I was able to just let it run for a while. And this is basically what we did. I was able to use something like that to help some of my clients discover a market that you could go into and help them to actually grow their business a lot faster. So once again, this was how to find an underserved market in a weight loss industry. So let's see what are some of the things that it found for me, okay? So obviously it went on to actually share that the weight loss industry in Singapore, it's actually has been showing a consistent growth, right? So we want to find a market that is consistently growing. So it's consistently growing, and it even gave me some major players in the market like NutriFirst, Herbalife, GNC, Amway, and so on. And it actually talked about the obesity rate in Singapore continue to rise, with nearly 1 out of 3 Singaporean aged 18 to 69 being overweight. I didn't know that. Okay, so again, I need to fact check if this is true, but so far it's giving me very good results. And I actually conducted a list of 5 possible underserved market, okay? But this is not the end, because from here, it will then go on to do more research to narrow down to which is the best market you can go into, okay? So if you're in weight loss, instead of trying to serve everybody, I serve anybody. There are 5 here that you can pick from. Busy professionals, postnatal women. By the way, I know postnatal women is a very underserved market right now because there's not enough trainer that is specialized in prenatal as well as postnatal, okay? Not enough. And my wife actually paid a lot more money because of that. Middle-aged people with health concern, right? Fitness enthusiasts and experts. Okay, so now I may not agree 100% that all of it is underserved, but it basically helped me to narrow down to 5. Okay, and through its research, as you can see, there was like 17 pages of research. It narrowed down all the way. So it actually basically started tasking itself. Okay, it finished a task, it added a new task. It finished a task, it added a new task, just to narrow it further. Okay, and okay, if we go all the way down, they even went into diabetic adults, okay? Pre and postnatal women. Remember I said about postnatal women, right? So previously it was just postnatal, but now it also included pre, which I knew it was an underserved market, okay? And that was even before I saw this. And then diabetic adults, this is something that I was able to help one of my students. Instead of trying to go for the weight loss market, which is sometimes a bit overly saturated, I helped her to kind of position and pivot a bit more into the diabetic market. And because of that, she was able to get a very fantastic result in her advertising. And the response for her ads click-through rate and the cost per lead was something so low that I have not seen it for a long time. Okay, just because she was able to be in a market where there's very little competition. Okay, and by the way, these are things that I'm sharing with you right now that my mastermind students have to pay me 5 figures for me to teach them. Okay, this is something that I showed them a few months ago so that they have a head start. But you guys are all getting it for free right now. So all I'm asking for is that if you like what you're seeing right now, just give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel so that the algorithm would basically click this video to more people, so that I will basically do more videos like that if you actually enjoy the content, okay? So anyway, coming back here, if I scroll all the way down, right, it basically analyzed there's actually one market that was pretty awesome. I saw it somewhere here. Okay, so after a bunch of analyses on all the different market, so it basically says that there is over 900 people aged 50 and above, underserved, potentially profitable niche, menopause woman. Okay, menopause woman. And it basically says that all the competitor, after doing an analysis of most of the established competitor, okay, it says that showed that most target a broad audience with general weight loss solution. Which means what? None of these competitors are significantly none of these competitors are specifically targeting menopausal women or busy professionals, which leaves a significant gap in the market. The service offered also have room for improvement in terms of personalization and tailoring to personal needs or individual needs. Okay, and this is something, once again, I know is doing well because I've seen people, some acquaintance of mine, that has built a very big business, a supplement business, just by marketing to menopause women in the United States. Okay, so I agree that it is very true that I don't really see a lot of weight loss programs or supplements that is marketed towards menopause women in terms of losing weight. I have one student in the past that did market to this market, and the cost per lead was also very low, very cheap. So I agree with whatever there's being found here. And by the way, what I know is based on my years of experience. Okay, because I have worked with so many of my mastermind members, I work with so many of my clients, and that's why I have a rough idea of the market. But this thing here just found out everything that I knew I took 5 years to learn in just 10 minutes. So by the way, if you're in weight loss, this is a market that you can pretty much go into, and this is probably the biggest value you can get out of this video. If you're not in the weight loss industry, use the same exact steps that I've shown you. Okay, remove weight loss, change it to your industry, give it a better prompt then, right? So I'm gonna give you this prompt here, make it better, right? Edit this. You don't have to just copy and paste my prompt, right? Don't be lazy. Come on. If this is a business that you want to build, if this is just if it's a 7-figure business that you want to build, okay, you gotta put in more effort, right? You gotta put in more effort to make this even better than what I did in less than a minute. Okay, I hope you guys have received value so far. So that's how you use Auto GPT and another version, which is Asian GPT, to basically find a 7-figure niche. It's much easier for you to penetrate a market that's underserved than try to reach out to everybody. Okay, and I've proven it. This is something that many of my students are using right now to basically penetrate into a new market that is much easier for them to market, much easier for them to generate leads online, much easier for them to advertise, because if you advertise in an oversaturated market, you will start to see that your ad cost starts to increase exponentially over the past few years. I just want to end with this. If you are in a very saturated niche, let's say the cost per lead could be $20 or $30, but if you are able to find a very underserved market, just like what I showed you just now, instead of going to a weight loss market, an oversaturated market, when she did this research, we found out that there's that diabetes and the pre-diabetes market. So instead of using her solution or her supplements that she's selling, her coaching, instead of trying to go for the weight loss market, it was the same method that she's teaching. She realized that she could actually position it more for reversing diabetes. Okay, and she was able to get less than $5 cost per lead in a market that's getting $20 cost per lead. That's 4 times lesser. Okay, that's paying 80% less. That's 20% of what other people are paying, just because you're able to find an underserved market. So I hope that this has been valuable to you so far. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, if you have learned something awesome here, this is just one part of what I can share. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel, and that will help to push the algorithm and push this video to more people. I'm not asking you for anything. You don't have to buy anything from me. I'm giving all this for free. I'm giving all this as value to you. And if you can just simply help me to like and share this video and reach out to more people, then that will incentivize me to do more videos like this. So once again, go ahead and use this software to find an underserved market. You'll find that it's much easier for you to scale your business to a 7 to 8 figure mark by simply finding and penetrating to an underserved market before your competitor does it. I hope you have received value from this video so far. Let me know in the comment section what's your biggest takeaway, what you have learned, and I'll see you in the next video.